What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well. It's been a while since I've done this, and we've got Retro Rob. What's going on, man?
Hey, man. Thank you for having me on again.
Love it, man.
Yeah, I
Absolutely. It's
appreciate
been.
it.
I think you were one of the last people I had on here too, if I'm not mistaken. It's been so long. I honestly don't even remember what the last one was. It was like 3 months ago. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, as this chat's pretty full. Everyone that we normally see is in here chiming off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I see we got Brian Whitney in here. Who else? Digitizer's here. J Rod's here. Victor's here. Awesome, guys. Love it. Kale King's here. Hope everybody's doing well. It's been so long since I've done this. Like I said, I mean, I feel like I'm trying to figure out like how this works again. Even though I've done the lives with Buff over the last couple of months, but it's a little different here for sure. So hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah, Buff's probably a way better guest than me. I don't have nearly as cool stories as he does.
That's all right. I don't have to really in, so that's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It could go either way there. You never know how things are going to go.
Oh man, Rob went nuts.
I know, and in the time that I took away from doing the lives here on this channel, did I even do lives since I changed the name? I don't even know that I did, but I don't think I did. So this is like the first. So, no. Yeah, this is the first under my real name. But I guess in that time you have quit YouTube now. What's going on?
So yeah, I quit my channel because I don't want people. I've been already called out by our favorite Albert, who claimed that I lied. So I literally said that I was done with. I just done with my channel. I'll still be on YouTube in some aspect because I've committed to some friends that they're putting out some videos. They asked if I'd be in it. I'm still getting asked. People are like, "Hey, would you mind being in a next video?" And so yeah, I'm not gonna say no because they're my friends.
Right.
And it's not like I get anything out of it. So so we can also put to rest the e-begging, the e-begging lore that's out there.
From the guy that has never asked for even a sub, a like, but you're somewhere out there asking for money. It's interesting.
I know, man. I helped one dude out who can't work for reasons that I don't need to get into. And then I became this like miserable e-beggar. Anyways, yeah, so I'm still doing shows. I asked you personally to do this because I wanted to address because a lot of my audience is your audience, and I've got a lot of other friends that watch your show too, regardless whether they chime in the chat or not. And so I figured I would just come on here, just kind of clear some things up so people knew that like I'll still be somewhat around in the YouTube universe, as it were. Still be doing some live shows. I've been asked. I got like 4 or 5 more shows coming up still to be on. People want to know. People want to know why I left. Everyone's curious. I said in the video, there's no burnout. I'm not burnt out. I'm not tired of doing it or whatever. It's just I want to do other stuff. So I don't want to just be boxed into just YouTube for like the next 4 or 5 years. That'll put me over. I'd be like 50 something years old, man. I don't like there's other things I want to get done.
Right.
So yeah,
I get it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it at first. I will say that. And then, I mean, I don't think it's a secret that you and I have become close friends. We talk all the time. And the more I've gotten to know you over the last, 6, 7 months, whatever it's been, since we really started talking often, I totally understand it. And I mean, to be on the content creator side of YouTube, it's draining. It's hard to explain to people that haven't done it. And it's not that it's like a tough job. It's really not. It's just like, I don't know. I think it's like the creative process of committing to, what you do on YouTube and stuff. It just, it messes with you sometimes. And some people can handle it. Some people can't, but it's not really that for you. You set out to do a year and you did a year. So, I have a lot of respect for that.
It was wild, man. It was definitely like I just want to see how far I could get into the gaming community. That's how like it sounds like. It sounds like some bored guy, just sitting around like comes up with an idea like, hey man, I wonder if I could do this, and then go do it. And then it was fun though, man. Everybody the support and just everyone that watched the channel. My favorite part, as you know, was always to interact with the comments. Love talking to the people, man, connecting with people, and hopefully, you know, at the end of the day, someone just found a new game to play or invoke some great memory from the past where they were like, God, I remember playing that, you know, and that's
Absolutely.
it, man. That's all I ever wanted from the channel. So
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I found from your channel. I mean, I think that's actually how we really started talking a lot. I was like, dude, I just watched your video and I just bought like 5 of the games from your video.
So it can be bad too.
I mean, luckily, I mean, I gravitate towards Xbox 360 because I never got into 360 when it was, you know, the latest console. I mean, I got into the Halo games, the Gears of War games, Forza, of course, but that was it. It was really just those 3 franchises, and then never really, you know, explored beyond that. So all these years later, that's, you know, exactly what I've done. And you've kind of, you know, laid the path for me to know, you know, what is worth me spending the whopping $5 on, because Xbox 360 games are they've come up a lot in value actually recently, but relatively cheap compared to, you know, some other consoles out there.
Yeah. I try to steer definitely people in the direction of like hopefully not going over like $30 usually, if I could help. That's a high end game these days
for 360 for sure. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I mean, there's a few out there that are pretty high. There's one that's blanking on which one it is. What's I don't know why I'm blanking on this. I always blank on this too. The one with the red Corvette Ferrari, or no, red, it's either Ferrari or Corvette. It used to be in the arcade, and then they made, like, I think original Xbox had one version.
You talking about Outrun?
Outrun.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I can never remember Outrun.
Oh man, dude, that's like the best game ever.
But for some reason, it's that, you know, because it's such a big word, obviously. It just escapes me every time. Outrun. There's the Xbox 360 version that's, I think, pretty expensive.
Yeah. I think the best version is the original Xbox, because those were, to me, were the arcade, like spot on arcade feeling graphics. Absolutely. Yeah, we got to thank Gen Master too. Gen Master was, I would have never popped in your stream if he hadn't told me about it. Gen Master was on watching my videos all the time back in the day. And then one day he was like, hey man, you need to come on Retro Gaming Guys show. He does these great giveaways. He's got really great content. I think you guys would have a lot in common. And so then I started popping in some streams, and I would talk to some of these guys. And then it wasn't until that one where everyone in the chat was like, hey, Retro Rob's here, and it got your attention. And then you're like, oh, I've heard about this idiot.
And the rest was history.
Yeah.
No, Gen Master B is awesome. He's been around a long time. And I do want to make mention of Bill here. Thank you so much, Bill, for the super chat.
Oh, so wow. Now, $20, dude. Wow.
So now we are e-begging. So that's out there now.
Oh boy.
Confirmed. Here we go. So wait for the hate video tomorrow on how Retro Rob and Chase Brogan, right? That's the pronunciation of my last name.
You're boring Brogan.
Boring Brogan. There we go.
If the chat doesn't know, or if the people who watch your show too don't know, Chase was actually in GQ at one point in his life too. So
apparently
he doesn't talk about it much, but
and for those that are just like, what are these guys talking about? There's a gentleman out there that creates accounts and bashes a lot of YouTubers, but enjoys really hating on the two of us. And
we live in this dude's head forever, man. I don't know.
It's crazy. But his complaints on me was I was boring and I was a GQ model, apparently, which I thought was just the weirdest collaboration of criticism and also compliment, I think.
Yeah,
it was definitely strange.
Mine is I look like John Wick. John Wick sucks. And some other compliments that were coming out for it. And then just because I helped out, you know, our friend. And so then I became an e-bagger. And then my content was boring also. We're both boring, apparently. So we're both boring people.
Well, we can't all eat SpongeBob popsicles on the side of the road, you know?
Yeah, dude, it's wild, man. So yeah, I expect some sort of repercussions from this show at some
For
point,
sure,
and
for sure.
if his channel stays up, I don't know. So
I gotcha. All right, let's. I just saw Keanu Reeves. There we go. There's a Keanu Reeves one. You look like Keanu Reeves.
I've coined myself as a Timu Reeves.
Timu Reeves. There you go.
Yeah, or
There you
we
go.
also a lot of us like John Wish.
I was just about to say the Wish Keanu
Right.
Reeves.
Not quite as badass, but
Slightly more everyday mixed in, but
yeah,
that's
like
good.
I actually get hurt when I fight people. That's how bad I was.
Excellent. Uh, so we are doing some giveaways tonight, everybody, and we've got plug and play consoles here. I'm actually in the process of trying to clean up a little bit, and as I do that, I'm just finding like stuff that I've reviewed over the last couple of months just about everywhere around me right now. So I'm going to be moving into like a studio space soon, which I'm really excited about. But we've got some cool stuff here. So I've got this plug and play, which is a Raspberry Pi 4 plug and play, which we're going to give away. I've got these two as well, and they come with everything. I just don't have enough space here around me currently to show off everything, but these are just absolutely loaded. Tons of games in there, and those two actually have a lot of like higher end games. So like PS2, I think there's actually only one original Xbox in there, but I think there's GameCube, all that good stuff. So not that they're the most powerful. I mean, you're not going to play like 360 on there or anything, but still comes loaded with all the retro stuff that we all know and love. So we'll be kind of grabbing people out of the chat, I guess, tonight, right? Right, Rob?
Yeah, just like we're gonna do random. So there is no people are asking for a link, but there won't be any link. We're
Oh
just
yeah,
gonna
yeah. Yep.
pick a random name, and then you guys can get a hold of Chase via probably email or which you can find on his channel or his
Right.
Instagram. You can slide into his DMs.
There you go. Yeah, so I'm back on Instagram, and I had gotten rid of Instagram for like the longest time. So I recently got back in there, and it's funny how much things change over like a relatively short period of time. I feel like I've only been off Instagram for like, I don't know, maybe like a year. No, probably 2.5 years. And it's like a different world on there now, man. Like
Yeah.
different features, and like I don't know, it's definitely different, but still trying to get used to it. I'm like,
I don't think it's as bad as Facebook. I know.
yeah, I don't do Facebook. Yeah,
I don't get nearly as much spam or anything. Most of my stuff, like my content, gets posted fairly well. So I'm always trying to share. That was a big thing. I always like to do is share everybody's stuff,
right.
everybody's channels, videos, whatever. I like to promote everybody, man, because the bowl's big enough, right? Everyone can eat out of the bowl. So
That's the thing with like YouTubers. Like, there's so much competition, and I never understood that. Like,
yeah,
there's so many. There's millions and hundreds of millions of people on YouTube. Everybody can eat. Like, it's not that serious.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I never understood the competition among creators and all that. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's wild, man. I like to say hi. Marvelous XD1 is in here. He's a friend of mine. He's got a really cool channel. And then I just saw Heck and Steve pop in there. So
Trying to catch up with everything
I know
here.
I can't. It's scrolling fast, man.
I know.
I just see a couple people. I'm like, hey,
There we go. And I did see Steve pop in, so
yeah,
shout out to Heck and Steve. I cannot find it in here at the moment, but
yeah,
oh, there it is. There we go. Heck and Steve. What up, peeps? Could have guessed that. It's his trademark.
yep.
And then Jen Master B, who we shouted out earlier. Daryl, what's going on?
Danny's in here. Looks like from Cornercade. Everybody's popping in.
Nice. Now
So
all I see is Heck and Steve.
What do you how did you want to do? Did you want to do like because random names? I mean, or I was thinking
Sure.
maybe how about I ask a trivia question for the first one?
Let's do it. That'll be fun.
We'll do a trivia question. Everyone's gonna be on there on Google
Let's do it
immediately.
for the white one here, and this one's got PS2 on here, GameCube, all that good stuff. And I will obviously I've got the cables and everything too. I just didn't have enough space right here to showcase the whole bundle, but
Yeah,
ask away, and whoever can get that right will do a little trivia
We'll
giveaway.
do that. So here we go. This is gonna be a trivia question for the chat. First answer I see that's correct is the person that's gonna get it. So as soon as my eyes can catch it, okay.
All right, you're calling the shots. I'm in the passenger seat.
I'll watch the chat and see. All right.
right.
So here we go. Sonic the Hedgehog made his first appearance in which classic arcade game? We'll wait and see.
All right.
This is his first ever Sonic the Hedgehog appearance in Sega's history. Someone wrote Gloria.
Just clicking that one.
Oh, man. People are so close, too. Oh, there it is. Retro Underground Gaming with the correct answer. Radmobile is the correct answer, everyone. That's the first person I saw.
I've tried to click it 3 times, and everybody's jumping in here. I'm tracking it up the screen.
Retro Underground Gaming, congrats. Yes, it is Radmobile.
Nice.
Radmobile was also featured in the movie Encino Man with Pauly Shore.
Brendan Fraser.
And Brendan Fraser was driving that same arcade game at the ice rink, and you can see Sonic dangling from the mirror in the actual arcade game. So
that's a movie that I would love to see a sequel of in 2025. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, why not? They're digging everything else up, right? No pun intended.
I know, right? And I think the 3 of those guys, because who's the other one? Sean from the Lord of the Rings and Goonies. I'm blanking on his name. Sean, what was?
Astin.
There we go.
Something.
I think they do like appearances at like the conventions and stuff together. The 3 of them, you could do like a 3 buy 1 get 3 people, signing and stuff like that. So that'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
So Retro Underground Gaming, hit me up through my email address if you could find it on my channel. Otherwise, you can hit me up on Instagram too. And for anybody else on Instagram, you can find me on there. Should be good if I knew my name. I think it's Chase Brogan Official on there because there was another Chase Brogan apparently.
Yeah, it is.
Chase Brogan Official. So yeah, if you guys want to drop a what is it over there? It's a follow over there still, right?
Yep, you can follow. And then
follow. There we go. Drop a follow on there.
And they'll see your you have your GQ face as the logo.
That's right. There you go.
So they can't miss it.
It's the same as this one, so it'll line up perfectly. There you go. Where can I find that game that you just gave away? So this one, I think they discontinued this one because I reviewed this like maybe 2 months ago, something like that. And I went to actually put the link in I think it's this one that's discontinued. I went to put the link in the description of the announcement video that I did the other day, and I couldn't find it. So that one's not available. This one still is, I believe. And they're actually basically the same thing. They have like the same game count within like 20 or so games. So they're pretty close, and the performance is pretty much well aligned as well. So let me try to track that down, and I'll drop it in the chat here for you guys. Let's see if I can find it.
New YouTube name is now Mr. GQ.
Mr. GQ.
Maybe we started, man.
I feel like I'm just going to let people down with that one. They're going to be like, oh, Mr. GQ, click.
Oh, man.
And be like, maybe 10 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, Rob, what's next for you now that you're going to be, we'll say at least somewhat stepping away from YouTube? You're stepping away from your channel anyways.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I don't foresee myself making vids anymore unless it's for friends ask me. Like I said, I've got some friends. I've got some videos I'll be appearing in here in the future. This winter, I'm going to take the winter to just finally catch up on some games. I want to knock off some off the backlog, off the list. I've been doing actually quite well at that. I've beaten about 6 games in the last 3 weeks, so it's pretty good for me.
Nice.
Gonna spend time with the kids, and then in the spring, I'm starting on a book. I'm actually going to write a book. So
that's awesome.
I hope to write and publish a book. I don't know how long it's going to take me, given that I'm kind of an idiot. I have no writing experience whatsoever, but everything I've attempted to do, I have no experience whatsoever in doing it. I just go and do it. I do the best that I can at it, and we'll see what happens. So,
but learn on the job.
It is, yeah, on the fly. It's tentatively titled "Who the Hell is Retro Rob? Adventures in Social Media and YouTube." So
That's awesome.
yeah,
So that was my next question. What's it about? And I see
yeah,
that a
it's
few
about the
people have.
dude on the couch and his journey into the YouTube and the gaming community, and how far just a nobody who even today I still feel like I'm a nobody.
Right.
How far could I get into the gaming world? So. And I'm going to cover a lot of stuff, my time with Facebook, and then how I
That'll be a good
transitioned.
one. That'll be good because I
Yeah.
mean I know your backstory with that. I don't know that
Yeah.
everybody else does, but it's an interesting and kind of scary, story for anybody that really invests their time as we all have to some extent, with social media or, whether it's a YouTube channel or a Facebook account or a Facebook group. It's scary when that whole deal kind of unfolds the way that it did for you. And it
Yeah.
went that way twice for you, not just once.
More than once. It was
Yeah.
multiple times. It's to
Yeah.
the point where I haven't had it now, and probably, so I would say the last 6 months, maybe I haven't been on Facebook. So,
Okay.
but interestingly enough, I found out, I did a review on one of those gaming boxes like you do. I did a review, like, I don't even know how many months ago it was. Somebody clipped part of that video though, and they're using it on Facebook with me in it, selling that device on a Facebook page. And so now, of course, our friend who we just mentioned a little earlier,
Sure.
it was telling everyone that's why Facebook banned me, is because I was selling illegal ROMs. And I'm like, dude, I haven't been on Facebook in like practically 6-7 months. I didn't make that video. Somebody used that, of me, and there's nothing I can really do about it. Nor do I really care. I'm not going to take the effort to go after, these people.
They're likely overseas. I mean, there's
Right. What am I
really
gonna? Yeah.
there's really no recourse. I had that happen too, where somebody took bits and pieces of me reviewing something,
Right.
and they kind of matched it and synced it up to where I was promoting a product that I had never even seen before,
That's so
which is
funny,
strange
man.
because they could have just sent it to me and I would have reviewed it. So
Right.
it's like, I feel like it would be so much easier to just send me the product. Even if you wanted it back, I would ship it back to you. I
Yeah.
would review it and do all of that work for you. You just
Yeah.
like forged a review. It doesn't really make much sense, but
It's probably very confusing in China too to see that Timo Reeves is reviewing one of these game boxes off of Amazon.
right.
I'm sure people are like, "Why? How bad has these John Wick movies done?" Like,
Well, they've only made what, like 5 or 6 of them, right?
oh my god, he's peddling crap. He's peddling ROMs.
That's so perfect though. That could be a market for you to tap into. Promoting products on Wish and Temu and being the cheap
Why
John
not?
Wick.
Why not, man?
You may not be able to afford Keanu Reeves, but you can afford
You
this
can
guy
get me
right here.
for a fraction of the price, man.
Temu Reeves, there you go.
I'll work on the voice a little, man. Like, whoa.
I don't think you have to work on it. I think that was perfect.
He's all these ROMs. Whoa.
We've got future YouTube channels for you. I don't know if you should leave. Temu Reeves right here. That's an instant hit. Retro Wick. I mean, come on. Man.
So yeah, I've heard someone said I should have been called that, but I don't. I didn't want to be like mooching off any likeness to have a successful channel. So
I feel like that does really well on certain platforms though. There's one that's like I think it's AI that just like, how they do the face where you can be like any celebrity now. It just like puts the filter over your face. There's one that looks really good of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh boy.
And but he's like a little bit heavier, so you can tell it's not him. But I mean, it looks pretty on point. And it's just him doing like different dances and stuff. I think it's got like 1 million followers. So, and like literally every video is just like different dances or like different like scenes that are like kind of like danced out. It's interesting.
Yeah. How do we feel? Here's a question. How do we feel about knowing that people are making lots of money selling emulation drives?
How do I feel? Or how does I'll let you handle this first because I'm in enough hot water over the last 24 hours. So
is he asking the chat, or is he asking? I don't know, man. I don't really personally care. If it's older stuff that's been out for like ages and ages, like I know Nintendo's really like adamant about getting every penny they can, and they don't want
Right.
anyone to have anything. But for the most part, like if you're buying a device that has, Sega Master System games on it, like I think Sega's all right. I don't think Sega's like, damn it.
Sega's never really come after anybody or done like the cease and desist thing. So no.
Yeah.
So here's my take on it. I think that if it's an older console like Nintendo Switch ROMs and stuff like that,
Yeah.
if you're doing stuff with that, you're gonna have problems. So like I've done videos on Switch emulation, but I've always done it with games that I actually have sitting on a shelf over here, just because I personally feel better about that sort of deal. At
Right.
least knowing that I have a Switch and I have a at least I only have like 5 or 6 games for the Switch, but
Yeah.
those were the games. So like people always ask me, why do you play Crash Team Racing all the time? Because it's on that shelf over there, and
Yeah.
I know that it's safe, but
Yeah.
yeah, if you're putting games out that are just released, like that's when if you look back, Nintendo really cracked down when I forget the last Mario game, but when that one came out and it actually got leaked through ROM sites like 2 days before, that's when they just, started coming down and eventually shut down like Vim's Lair and stuff like that. That
Yeah.
was putting those down. Not that that's totally shut down, but they removed like the Mario titles and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I agree with that too. Don't steal from the people right now that are developers and stuff that are still trying to make
give
a
them
living.
2 years, give them 3
Yeah,
years.
give them, by 10 years, it's not like, you're playing Led Zeppelin in an elevator and they're getting
Right,
royalties from that, right? I don't
right.
know, man. At some point, you're just gonna have to kind of like, I don't know, but
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, emulation in general is a gray area, but
yeah,
I mean, I also look at it too as like I think everybody should be able to play stuff. And like for me, Gauntlet Legends, I've said it 100,000 times, is my favorite game. If I wanted to play that in 2024 or 2025, there's no way that I could play that game by giving my money over to the developers because they're no longer around or they're no longer
exactly,
producing
yeah,
it. So
right,
stuff like that, it's like if Nintendo Switch or Nintendo wanted to put out that title, I would pay for it just to have it and to
sure,
be able to plug it into a console or whatever.
right,
That's not available on the majority of these older titles.
yeah,
So, should people not be able to play it? Should there be no preservation of that title?
correct, yeah,
So
yeah,
that's how I look at it.
yeah. Well, we'll see other people if they chime in the chat and they're like, "You
For
guys can
sure.
go to hell." It's actually one of Nintendo's lawyers.
Right. They're recording it right now. Future mod.
Check
Change
you in the
sometimes.
morning. Oh, future mod.
Cool. Of Gauntlet, hopefully. I don't know if that was related, but I'm putting that out there into the world. We need a Gauntlet Legends mod or something. Be able to swing the axe as Hulk Hogan or something like that.
Someone can do it. Lindsay, LL Cool Games is in the chat. I want to say hello to her. She's a friend of mine. She's in there somewhere. It's probably so far back now you won't even see her.
I know. I try to keep it to the. Actually, I feel like usually I'm like 20 minutes behind when I do the live streams on Thursdays with Buff. I'm always like I'm looking at the timestamp and I'm like, shit, I just answered a question from like 45 minutes ago.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
today it's actually keeping me with like it's moving me to the most recent one. So I'm constantly scrolling up this time.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find her in here, but
Retro Randy's in here. We know him, right?
Retro Randy's here.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not seeing you guys.
It is. That is a very good way to game. I mean, that's how I started with everything, is building it, ROM by ROM, not doing the ROM dumps because I don't know. I never had good luck with trying to dump ROMs in bulk. Like I always had half of them not work or like they weren't synced up with the emulator properly. So I would just do it like literally download one ROM, drop it in, test it out, and take that slow, methodical approach to setting up
Yeah.
2 terabyte drive, which took me like 6 or 7 months to do.
What's this? You guys don't support the Kinhank 12 terabyte drive then, because that brings piracy to a whole new level. I don't know what's on that. So, are you familiar with that, Kinhank?
I am familiar with it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, That doesn't have the Kinhang ones. I don't think have recent games on there. They may now. I don't think that has like Play Night. The ones with Play Night has like, you could find like the most recent Halo title on there. You could find like the, I guess, somewhat older Forza titles on there. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it does have AAA games on there as well. Hey Chase, how about getting into Retro Game Corps as a live guest? Just reach out. I mean, I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. Actually, when I first met Cornercade, he was like, "I know you don't do check your phone, Chase. I got your text. I'll hit you back for sure. I'm in the middle of a stream, dude."
I'm gonna text you too.
Yeah, do that. No, I'm kidding, Danny. I'll hit you back. Don't worry. But actually, Danny has said, I think the first time I met, he was like, "You don't. I know you don't do like guests. You don't do like guest spots on other channels." I was like, "Dude, I would. Nobody ever asks me to. It's like everybody just comes to my channel."
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's because it has the best chat, man. Everyone in here is amazing. So.
Dr. Johnny Bananas, Chase your Bottasera Carnival setup video saved my life. Dude, I can't tell you how much time went into that video because that was like the only light gun game I could not get to. It would like, I forget what the issue was with it, but it would either fire, but like, yeah, I think the shots you would see like the bullets, like, go down in your clip or whatever, but you would never see them register on screen. And I spent like probably like 2 weeks on figuring out how to solve that problem. So I'm glad that that video helped you. That's what's cool about YouTube though. Like that video's got to be like 2 years old, and to see like comments like that like, it's helping somebody out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I use YouTube to like when I get stuck on the game levels. and then if it helps me, I thank them too. I'm like, hey man, I've been stuck on this level for like 3 weeks, and that video had been out for probably like 8-9 years, and they're probably like, whoa, this dude's just now getting into like Xbox 360.
Dude, yeah, I did that with the I got the new Indiana Jones game. I played it briefly earlier today.
Yeah,
but
you made me get it.
I know. I sent I sent you like a 10-second clip, and you were like, "Yeah, I'll probably get it. I'm cheap though." Next text, just got it.
I just bought it.
The graphics are insane though, but
yeah,
it's the one for original Xbox. I played it back. I have it on my Xbox account, and I went to play it back, and I'm like, I couldn't figure out like 2 levels, and I'm like, I've beaten this game so many times. I could not figure it out. And I went on like a video, walkthrough, and it was like 14 years old or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Was that Emperor's Tomb?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Dude, that game's good. It's held up too for how old it is. It's still
for sure.
The only buggy thing about it is the camera angles can get a little wonky. And that can make your jumping or whatever a little frustrating. But for how
it would mess me up when I was like underwater trying to get away from like the shark.
Yeah,
like that.
Because then you're not sure if you're up or down, and then
right. Especially, I think the last bit of it where you have like the time limit on getting to where you have to go or whatever. Yeah, that one's tough. Yeah, and not Glorious here. Nice. It's been a while.
Goodbye, Chase. I'm going to miss your pretty face. Well, he's not leaving though. Are you? Wait, is this your goodbye too?
Nah, not that I'm aware of. I feel like that was 3 months ago, but here I am.
Look, if you guys want to text Chase during the chat, I'm gonna put the number in there. Say your goodbyes.
There you go. Oh, that'll definitely brighten the evening up. Show it on the show. Danny's usually pretty safe, so let's see.
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
man.
Cool. All right, we could do this. So it's the Gauntlet Dark Legacy arcade cabinet design. That actually shows up pretty well on here too.
Yeah,
I can see it. Yeah, that is pretty cool, and that's from Ezekiel, right? Yeah, there's this. It says it right in the corner. Perfect. Yeah, it's that. I almost bought this cabinet too. It's the Gauntlet Dark Legacy, but it's as deep as it is wide. And then I was like, I got a great deal on it. I was like ready to go get a U-Haul to go pick this up. And I'm like, I don't know if I can get that through my door. And then it wasn't even remotely close to fitting through the door.
Because of the area.
Right. Because like you would think that all right, if it's wide, you just turn it, but it's the same. It's almost the same deep as it
Yeah.
is wide. So yeah, there's just no way to do it. And then it would have gone almost through my drop ceiling down here
Oh,
because
geez.
it's got exactly that elevated or elongated marquee there.
Wow.
It's actually on a hinge, so you can drop it down when you're moving it. But yeah, it's massive. But they wanted like I think $600, and I was like, I have to get a U-Haul. He was like, I'll do 500. I was ready to go get the U-Haul right then, and luckily I thought about that, or it would have been sitting under my deck for forever.
Jeez. Got
I could
mice
put it in
living
my
in it.
garage, but I'm like, I'm not. I don't want to. I don't have like a nice garage where it would look great in in there, and in the winter I'd be freezing playing Gauntlet Legends. Like, nah,
Yeah. Bundled up.
right.
You
And
dress like
luckily the studio that I'm going to be moving, my setup in for videos and stuff. Luckily, it's a third floor walk up, so that will keep me from getting any like insanely large cabinets. Although I do have a cabinet that will be coming, and that'll be a future video. But
And
it's
you talked about that on your last video, right? About the new office and everything. A lot of people know now from your channel.
um I kind of talked about it a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm it's going to be in New Haven, Connecticut. I'm not far from New Haven now, but I've kind of outgrown this space that I'm in, and I've actually moved to 3 different rooms in my house as like the channel has grown and I've done more and more stuff. And now like this one just looks kind of, I was just talking to Rob before we started. It kind of looks like Hoarders, like a clean version of Hoarders in here right now. So yeah, I definitely need to get into a bigger space. And like I feel like I can't do like cool camera angles and stuff, like not that I'm
Yeah.
that creative, but
Yeah.
everything's pretty much like I can't move the camera at all because it's just like other
You
stuff
even
from
had
other
to cut your
videos.
wall
Little,
out, man. You had to cut your wall out and put a fence in. That's all.
I know, right? Exactly. My wife was like, you just set up your backdrop for the Buff Bagwell live stream. Now you're gonna move to a new space. I'm like, luckily there's only like 16 screws holding the thing up, so
Right. Yeah. It's
I'm
not
gonna
like
take
it's
that with
forever.
me.
It's
Yeah,
yeah. It's an easy fix. So
right. Exactly.
yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, we talked, and I'm definitely gonna come out to Connecticut and visit the
Absolutely.
town and pretty much hang out for a few days. And
I'm looking
you
forward
promised
to it.
me pizza, so
Can't go wrong with New Haven pizza, so
we can
got that
try them
covered.
all too if you want to. If you want to take me like on like the tour,
Perfect.
I'll even
Instead of
start some. I'll start some trash with other. I'll start talking smack like, hey, next door, Geno's or whatever.
right.
They
And that's
use
the
way
thing
better.
is they are kinda, like, aligned with each other too, so they must be used to that.
My only pizza history with Connecticut is Mystic Pizza, and that's because
Okay, yep.
Julia Roberts is
Julia Roberts, yeah.
she's a very pretty lady.
For sure, for sure. When was that the '80s or was that early '90s, Mystic
Dude, it
Pizza?
was definitely the '80s, man.
It's like
Everything
late '80s.
wonderful happened in the '80s. So
Yeah,
the
that's a
'90s,
small place.
was good. 2000s, we started all right, man, in the beginning, and then pretty much after that, like it was just kind of the arrow started going down.
Yeah, that seems to be how it trends these days.
Yeah.
Uh, is the new indie game any good? So I'm only like a level in, but the graphics are insane. I can say that. I mean, the first level is like it's mostly cutscenes, anyways, but it's cool. You open with like the opening scenes of Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So you do that whole bit, and then he like wakes. Well, I'm ruining the game for everybody, but he wakes up, and then you continue from there. So I'm at that continue from there part, but yeah, I mean, it could be hot garbage, and because it's Indiana Jones, I'm in. That's what got me into Fortnite. When they had the Indiana Jones skin, I got into
Right.
Fortnite. So
Yeah, I like I said, I was hesitant to get it because I was like, well, I could just get it on Game Pass, but I was like, but I do collect Indiana Jones stuff like you do. I have like a small area back here of like indie stuff, and I'm like, it would be unjust of me to have a RoboCop area, and I do have the new RoboCop game, but and then indie doesn't. So it's kind of like can't be playing sides. So when I was talking to you, you showed me that one clip, and I was like, all right, I'll just buy it. So it will
yeah,
be here
I mean,
Thursday, so I will play it Thursday.
nice, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got a physical copy too.
yeah.
I can't do the digital copies of stuff. I
No, I
don't know.
can't either. Is this one so when you install this game though, like is a lot of it disc, or did you have to do a lot of digital also with it?
No, it's all. I think it's all disc. Yeah,
Okay,
and it was a quick install too. I'm
good.
used to like dropping a disc in and having to wait like half a day, but no,
Right.
it
Well,
was quick. I would say like I don't know, 30 minutes or so, and you're able to dive into it. So
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
it was pretty cool. It
That's good
came.
to know.
Yeah, and
That's the turn off from modern gaming these days is that like, you'll go literally you're just buying something to install digitally and then a disc is
right.
worthless. It might as well be a coaster on your table. So
Yeah. I guess there's a version where you can like alter like his outfit and stuff like that. Like I think they had like a Temple of Doom like version of him that you can drop that version into the game. But like
yeah.
I just got the regular one, and I'll be lucky to get through that in a timely manner. So
Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be all kinds of DLC and crap you're gonna have to pay extra for, like
right.
w-
Of
what
course.
Indiana Jones camouflage whip, or like you get a pink tote bag or something instead of the brown one.
Right. So there's always upsales now.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Rightwave's in the chat. Steve, he's a good friend of mine. You guys might know Mr. Rightwave from his channel. He's popped in there in the chat. If you didn't know too, Chase, because I know as much as you love wrestling, Steve just started getting into the AEW. He was in Dallas this last couple days.
Oh, nice.
Posted some interviews, some
That's awesome.
wrestlers. Yeah, and he's always doing big things, man. I'm a big fan of him. So if you guys
Nice.
like wrestling and gaming, that's another channel you should definitely check
I'm
out.
going to go over there as soon as we're done.
Yeah,
It's
and he's
right up my alley.
local. He lives a couple hours from me, so
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
I think AEW was just out there recently. I'm so behind on stuff, and like the last 2 weeks been traveling quite a bit. So I'm like I haven't even watched Survivor Series or anything. So I don't know what's going on, but I got to catch up.
Yeah. Also, I don't. He probably won't want me to say this, but he is a Navy veteran too, and I always acknowledge my veterans. So thank you, Steve, again for your service.
Absolutely.
So,
Thank you.
um, I got a question in here. Said, what do you guys feel about turn-based RPG games? Do you play turn-based RPG, Chase? I've never asked you.
I don't.
I don't either.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
It feels like work. Like, and they're always sending you on other tasks besides focusing on the game itself, right?
True.
Well, I think you and I are the same. We're like adrenaline. We like fast pace. We like racing and shooting are like the first go to for us.
Right.
And then platformers would probably be our third if I had to guess with you.
Yep,
So
100%. I like stuff that I can get into and also be able to pull myself out of because, I have 3 kids, so that keeps me busy too.
yeah,
I got to be able to game in like short spurts. So
yeah,
that's
I
why,
can't.
like when I do review videos of stuff too, I try to get into games that I know, like Virtua Tennis. Everybody always laughs at me. Is like if he's reviewing anything retro, he's gonna jump into Virtua Tennis
Which one?
because
The
you can get
Dreamcast
into
one?
that. Yeah, because you can
Yeah,
get into
that's the
that and
best one.
yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
And two's decent, but like the later ones are just I don't know, they're not as good. I think the original is definitely the best, and then in that order they quickly go down. But yeah, I mean you can get into Virtua Tennis from when you launch that game to playing your first match in like I feel like 15 seconds at the most.
yeah.
So you don't have to wait for anything.
Yeah, it's nothing. I don't want people to be offended. It's not that I dislike RPGs or turn-based RPGs. It's just for me, it's a time factor. Like you said,
Right.
I can't commit to stuff like that. I would play probably fighters too. I like fighting games. I like shmups. I like just intensity. I don't know, unless it's like before bed and then I have to like wind down. And then so I'm a big puzzle game fan at night. I like puzzle games. So like
Hey,
because then I'm not because my wife knows too. I get nuts out in the living room like before bed. It's like 11:30 at night and I'm frustrated, and she's like, you need to
right.
calm down. Like you gotta go to bed soon. Like a little kid, like because you don't want to be all
All
amped
amped
up,
up.
man. You're
Right.
trying to be calm, right? And I'm like,
Absolutely. What about Tetris? Are you a Tetris guy?
yeah. So Tetris was the first game I ever got because the Game Boy was the first ever console I ever got as a child because
Okay.
that's all we could afford. And so we couldn't afford any games. So I played Tetris. I was like a Tetris god, dude. I like completed every level. I saw the space shuttle take off. Like you get the space shuttle takeoffs when you beat. Like I could sit and beat it in like one sitting. That's how much I played it.
Wow.
But then eventually I moved into other games beyond that. So, but Tetris is definitely special to me for sure. So.
That's on my list of shows to watch, or is it a show or movie?
Yeah, on Apple TV's got
Apple
that.
TV.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a movie about the guy.
Movie.
Yeah, Alexei Pavanov, I think is his name. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
I heard the game's good, or I mean, the movie's good. I just haven't watched it. TV's not far. As like we don't watch a lot of TV in my house.
I'm the same way now. Yeah. I used to watch every movie that came out. I knew everything about every film, but I don't know, over the last like 5 years or so, I've watched probably, aside from like taking the kids to like kids movies at the theater.
Exactly.
I haven't seen any, I haven't seen like a full movie in the longest time. Now on like the plane, I'm starting to, even on the plane though, like if I have like a 5-hour flight, I still don't watch movies. Like I end up watching, like I binge watched Tulsa King. I forget which trip that was. And now I'm on season 2 of that. So
okay. Yeah, my dad's been
chipping away at
begging me to watch that show, man. He's like, "Have you watched Tulsa King yet?" I'm like, "Dad, not yet." Like, I got a list, man. But I tell you what, as soon as like the new season of Reacher comes out, I'm all over it. I'm like, I'll watch Reacher like immediately. But then I don't know,
that's
man.
a good one. I've seen that one. Yeah, well, I'm gonna back your dad up. Watch Tulsa King. It's good.
It's on the list, man. We all have that list, right?
We all do. Mine just gets stuff added to it, and nothing ever gets crossed off.
Yeah, it's a big ass list, and it's on there, man. I promise you.
Buff and I just did a video with one of the guys. He's a wrestler, but he's in Tulsa King. He just came into season 2. So luckily I knew like who he was, and I had seen like half of it by the time we did the interview with him. But it's he's a pretty cool character, and he's I don't know if I should even say this, but I guess they've confirmed like multiple seasons that'll be coming up on that too. So
all right. Hey, we'll say goodnight to, I think Biggie left, it looks like, in the chat. So goodnight, Biggie.
Thank you, Biggie. Yep. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, TV's not very high on our list of things. We set time aside during dinner. We watch a show during dinner. Just depends on what it is right now. Right now, the current show that we're watching is Only Murders in Buildings. So, yep. Okay. So my wife's a big fan of anything murder, whether it's podcasts or books.
So what is it with women and murder? Like my wife's the same way, and everybody I know.
I text you every day. That's why, so you know. If you didn't hear from me for like 3 or 4 days, man.
She's been studying for years, so it's coming. I gotcha.
That's why I'm trying to annoy you, man. But I'm like, I just want you to know I'm still here.
Never an annoyance, never.
And then on like Friday nights, we put time aside, and we'll do like a fun dinner of like, we'll order pizza or something, and then we'll watch like an actual movie on Friday night. We do like a movie night, and then that's pretty much the bulk of our TV, man. So
yeah, I think it's important to do that stuff, and that's the struggle with me. It's like everybody's at different ages, so like finding something that all the kids want to watch is a challenge now. But
yeah. Hey, Joe's in the chat. Joe, I love you too, man. I just watched a couple of his shorts today on those pinball machines.
Where's Joe? Oh, how do you miss Joe with the super chat?
Yeah,
he's just feeding the narrative that we're e-begging tonight. So
you're a dirty
appreciate you.
and you're boring.
I must be hard up for money. That's why I came back to the live streams.
I would ask the chat if they think we're boring. I don't think this is a boring chat at all. So or boring show.
Over 100 people in here enjoying it. But yeah. I do think it's time for a giveaway. So I'm going to let you take the reins with that because you did so well with the first one. So
let's do a trivia question.
I love it. Let's do it.
All right. So I made a reference earlier. Nintendo actually used a lawyer to help defend a certain case. I don't need to get into details on it. However, this lawyer inspired one of Nintendo's most popular character in video games. The first person who answers this, first person I see that. Oh, there it is. I already got it.
I already knew this one.
1GR G7. Yep. Kirby. Yep. Wow.
That was fast. One Greg 7.
Oh yeah, here I was spelling out like an idiot. One GREGs. You can reach him at area code.
So one Greg 7 or one
go.
GREG 7. Hit me up either on Instagram or on the where is my email address on my channel? Is it on it's by the community posts? I don't even know my way around YouTube.
On YouTube, it should be like when you click on the more, like when your description of your channel, there should be all your links in there when it drops down. So
that's great.
And it'll also tell like how many views you've had and all the other stuff, so people can be like, oh wow, he has millions of views, he must be a good channel.
And then they click on it and they're instantly let down.
And they're like, I've changed my mind.
Right.
Yeah, Julio Hernandez, dude. That was the fastest answer, man. Here I was thinking I was gonna I
actually knew that one too. I actually knew that one. Yeah.
Well, crap, man. Those are like my two good. I'll have to think of one good one for the last giveaway.
We'll give you a little bit of time. Just post your number and they can text you. Yeah, seriously.
I'll post my number. You guys text me a trivia question, and then I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get everything but a trivia question. He said my man had Google ready.
I'm so confused. Which should I get, a Retroid Pocket 5 or an Anbernic 556? So I get asked this stuff all the time, and honestly, with this one, I've never tried the Retroid Pocket 5, and I'm going to look up the 556 because I've probably done a review on that. And that's the thing with Anbernic. I wish they would change their models to not being one digit off every single time for the last 5 years, because it's always the 551V or the 552 or, they all blend together. So let me just look that one up and see if it rings any bells. I may not have actually reviewed this one.
Yeah, I've never tried any of the Retroid Pockets. I have tried many.
I haven't either.
So, yeah, a lot of
I've had great luck with Anbernic. So this one's $170. It looks like, at least from where this one's being sourced through. It looks pretty damn cool. Well, I should probably YouTube whether I've done a review for this, because watch it be 4 videos that I put out on this or something.
You're like, I've never tried this before, and you
right.
That's all right. I couldn't read the Greg 7's name, so I got so excited to see the answer. I couldn't read his name.
Yeah, nothing comes up for me on that one, so I'm glad my memory's not that shot. But Tech Dweeb has a great review on it, it looks like, and I'm a big fan of his stuff. So if he recommends it, I would say go with that, just because I am a big fan of Anbernic. I've tried, I think, just about every other model than this one. So I've had great luck with them. You just have to be careful where you get it from, because I've heard some people say now that they got a Anbernic handheld and it didn't have any games on there. They didn't go through the links that I provide, because I always do the exact link that I tested out, because again, there's so many ways to source these nowadays. Some people don't have the games included with the handheld, which kind of defeats the purpose. But yeah, I unfortunately don't know anything about the Retroid Pocket 5 personally, so I can't really speak to that. I'm not going to tell you to get something that I haven't tried firsthand. But Anbernic's a good brand, that much I can tell you.
Yeah, looks like so I'll say it correctly this time. One Greg 7. he sent you an email. He said so.
Excellent. Perfect.
Well, congrats.
I'll hit you up.
Congrats. We got a question here. Rob or Chase, do you guys like that new Indiana Jones is first person versus third person? I've seen gameplay and it looks amazing. Well, you, of course, just said that you just started getting into it. Do you like that it's third person? Or first person, sorry?
First person. I do, actually. And when I saw the and I think there's little bits and pieces where you are third person. At least that's what they said back when they announced it a year ago. But I do really like it like that, actually. I was a little bit concerned when I found that out, because I didn't like Staff of Kings for Wii, which was kind of that.
Yeah,
that was. Well, I don't know. That wasn't.
They forced the Wii controls in your face too, man. And
right, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind it for, I think it was on PlayStation. It would have been PlayStation 2 back
Yeah,
then, I
PS2
think.
had it, and that was
So
with at least the D-pad, and you could,
right.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you could navigate it much better that way, but I wasn't a fan of, playing it on Wii. I thought I would. I thought I was gonna be Indiana Jones, cracking the whip and all that,
yeah.
but it didn't pan out. It felt
No,
pretty awkward.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I would get tired. I'm like, "God, I gotta keep whipping this whip, man." Like, and then
Seriously.
when you're fighting people, you like gotta really throw your fists and stuff to like, hit
You gotta
them.
have you gotta have defense too, and it was like every time you had to cut through like vines and stuff too,
Yeah,
you're like
you have to
hacking.
yeah. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh, man, I'm not cut out for this, man. I could have been Indiana Jones like 20 years ago, but not now,
right.
man."
Yep. So
I will say that the one part of the game that's cool though is that you can use the Wiimote like straight up, and it is a flight stick for the airplane and those
that is
levels.
a good one. Yeah.
And
Yep.
that actually the controls during that are actually they did it very well. But yeah, I much prefer just using the monkey thumbs, man. I don't want to do
It's
anything else. Like,
right, right.
yeah,
Yeah, it's one of those things that like the idea is better than the reality of it because
right,
you get tired of it pretty quick. But
yeah. I saw a friend. He was playing. He posted a video of the Arkham
okay,
VR
yep.
game.
Yep.
Dude,
Yeah, I have it.
he fought like 10 guys and then had to pause it. And he had to like take a break for like 30 minutes, dude. He's so tired and out of shape, dude. He's like, I can't fight all of Gotham tonight, like he had to like sit down.
That came with, so I got the MetaQuest 3S and that game was included. So I
Yeah.
jumped into it and I was playing it, and it's a pretty cool game. My problem with it is like sometimes like if the light is coming through underneath the goggles, like I start to get like lightheaded, or like I don't know, I don't feel great playing it. So I was playing
Yeah.
that for a while, and my wife was like working behind me, and like I just you know when you feel like somebody's staring at you. I just like
Yeah.
took the goggles off and turned
Yeah.
around. She's like, what is all this? Because it was like the part where like you're learning to battle like 10 guys at the same time, so you're like blocking one and fighting the other one. So,
She thinks you're like fighting demons or something.
yeah, I was like, I just had that moment of like, I feel like I'm being watched, and I feel like this isn't a good look right now.
I don't think I could ever get into VR, man. I feel like that's the time where someone would finally rob me and I wouldn't know what was going on because you just sensory like you have no idea what's going on around you. You just see the burglars sneaking around taking stuff.
Right.
I don't know, man. I'm not ready. Like Ready Player One. I'm not ready for that world where we're all just.
No, I got the like vest thing. It's actually right over here that like vibrates for like when you get hit in the game, and so
Yeah.
I used it with the MetaQuest thing, and it's cool. But I also like I try to do reviews on like, does it check all the boxes for somebody that would game this way? And like I think I said in the video, like for me personally, like I'm not gonna get suited up to like play a game because I probably only have 15-20 minutes at a time anyways. I'm not going to get suited up and like, click into all these different things, but it is pretty cool for, people that are into VR and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm happy with just a Xbox controller or Xbox style controller, and,
Same.
proceeding that way.
You and I both like the light guns too, because that's
Right.
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 Yeah.
And that's
even
like the
those,
happy medium there too.
right.
Like I feel like you're, kind of right on the line there. So
Yeah, because even those can get a little tiring, man. Where especially if you're playing the ones where you actually have to keep hitting the trigger as opposed to just holding the trigger down, and like you're just after a while, you're just like, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
right.
I'm gonna take a break.
Virtua Cop needs a VR game. They're actually developing. Police Trainer is going to be, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say this either.
I remember that.
Yeah, I got to start like filtering myself, but whatever. They're developing a Police Trainer game, and they asked me to like test it out when they get to the final stages of beta and stuff like that.
Man.
So that's actually what made me go out and get the MetaQuest 3S, because I very much loved Police Trainer. That was one of my favorite light gun games, so I would enjoy that in VR, I'm sure. And that's also like slower paced. Like you have like, little mission and then, break and all that. So,
okay. That's, I think that's kind of known knowledge too. I don't think anyone's going to come down on you or anything. So,
right.
yeah,
Perfect.
the Police Trainer one. Yeah. Cause Sega is coming out with all kinds of stuff in the future that they've been leaking stuff and giving hints towards. And
good.
So yeah, you'll be all right.
Good.
Just remember if they're listening, This is John Riggs' channel.
Exactly. How does VR work for people with glasses? I think there's enough room in there to where you can get your glasses, but I think that you can do something with the lenses too. I don't wear glasses, so I'm not sure. But there is like a whole bunch of information in like when you get a MetaQuest that walks through all that stuff. For me, it went over the shoulder because it doesn't pertain to me. So
Yeah.
I'm not totally sure. And then Stang-tastic. Chase, you have a doppelganger at the gym I go to, unless it's really you. What gym do you go to? It could really be me.
Yeah, don't tell him your gym or he's gonna come find you.
You can just say call, man. What state you live in, and
yeah.
I'll tell you if you're getting warmer or not. I mean, I think everybody knows I'm in Connecticut, so
yeah.
Just see this at the bottom, duct tape.
Uh-oh.
I'm quite far from Missouri, so it wouldn't be me in Missouri. Is that even the same person that wrote that? I don't know. I lost it now. Stang-tastic. No, it was not. Okay.
Yeah. No, you can't forget Stang-tastic.
Stang-tastic. Everybody's just shouting out their states now.
No, that's good, man. It's nice to know where everyone's from. We had a guy in here from Australia earlier. I don't know if he's still in the chat.
Actually, Australia, like, there's a page, I couldn't find it now, but somewhere in the back end of YouTube, it'll tell you like where your audience is. And like for me, for a long time, Australia was like 20%. Now it's much lower now, but
you probably ticked them off. Did you tell like a Vegemite joke or something?
I did not.
They were like, man, the hell with Chase Brogan.
I try not to offend anybody or piss people off, but sometimes until
you start e-begging.
There you go.
Yeah. You're such a dirty e-bagger, dude.
I think everybody has announced their state except for the person that asked me the question.
We got Scotland and Canada. That's pretty cool. I saw someone from Texas.
Scotland, nice.
I'm a Texas person.
Very nice.
I'm not from the UK, Cameron said. Where's Cameron from then? Yeah, Indiana in the house. Hey, who was that from Indiana? Oh man, this thing's going by so fast. I was gonna ask him.
I know. I'm trying to click them, and they're like, I'm clicking the wrong ones.
Washington State. Oh, I love Washington State, man. I spent so much time up there. I'm a big Pacific Northwest fan. Your absent father, Dad. Oh my God, he found me in the chat.
Kentucky, Houston, Texas, and we're all over.
Northeast India. I want to ask the Indiana people in here what they think their chances are the college football playoff. I love to bring up sports, by the way, so
for sure, go for it.
Indiana fans in the chat, man, what do you think your chances are for the college football playoffs? There's an Aussie right there.
Aussie right there. Yep.
If anyone in the chat, any of the other Australians, I spent about 2 months in Darwin and I loved it. So they got Darwin's a great area. The NT as they called it, Northern Territory. Very nice. I loved it, man. I would go back in a heartbeat. There's still more I'd like to explore. I'd like to see like Brisbane and Sydney and everything else. But
that's one of the few like foreign countries that I'd like to visit and haven't visited.
Mark Virgin said, "Oh man, Darwin stinks." Hey man, I'm from America. It was all right for me. I've seen worse, dude. Go to Detroit.
I lived outside Detroit for a year. It's rough. Do people from Kentucky enjoy Kentucky Fried Chicken?
I mean,
I don't know. I'm sure some people do, right?
I think that's probably like a stereotype that, most Kentucky people probably hate KFC. So,
I've been getting that one my whole life, and now Paw Patrol is named after me. I got that one beat, but the bank has got me beat in more ways than one.
Chase is on the case, everyone.
There you go.
Johnny Graphics is in the chat. What's up, Johnny? He says people in Ohio love KFC. I bet, dude. It's probably Panda Express too.
I got to go to Ohio on Friday. Friday. Yeah, I just
Where
that
at?
just got. So I'm going into it's Waverly, Ohio is where Buff and I are going, but
Okay.
they're putting us through Cincinnati, which is like 2 hours. I think we're just under 2 hours from there when Columbus is like an hour away. So we've got a 2 hour commute once we get there.
Are you going to Columbus also or no?
No, so I was gonna fly. So he's flying up from Atlanta. I'm flying down from or down. I guess kind of down. I don't know where it is in relation. But anyways, I'm flying west from Connecticut, and yeah, there since he's going into Cincinnati, I'm going into Cincinnati, and then
Okay.
we have a driver that I guess that's picking us up from there. So I just figured rather than getting a rental car for like the third time this month, I'll hitch a ride.
Yeah.
And it was like the same price, but yeah.
Cincy's nice.
Is it? I've been through
I had a good
Ohio
time.
just driving to Michigan, but I've never I don't think I've ever even gotten out of the car in Ohio.
So I spent a couple times in Columbus. Johnny knows because Johnny, we go to the same expos in Columbus. So there's Korgs, and then there's Torg, and then those are great expos. And then if you're driving out though, you go through Cincinnati. I spent a couple of days in Cincinnati, and then it's funny because you'll drive past the Bengal Stadium, and then you blink, and then you're in Kentucky. that's how fast it is.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
yeah,
cool.
I have to look at a map and figure all that out as to where things are. But I know that I would go through like I think it's Toledo. I've been to you know what? I have been in Ohio. I went to what's the theme park out there in Sandusky. I've been there.
Oh,
Cedar
Rapids, right? Or Cedar Point?
Cedar Rapids, I think, is Iowa.
Oh yeah. I just totally named a city, didn't I?
I think so.
Cedar, man.
Cedar Point. I'm pretty sure it's Cedar Point.
Yeah,
I've been
Cedar
there a few
Point.
times.
I would say Lindsay would know, or Johnny. They're in the chat.
There we go.
Lindsay's a big Cedar Point fan. I think she took her family there not too long ago.
There we
go. Hey, look,
yep.
It's Sting. He never got back to your question on the door.
he said Ohio, but I don't know if he was just saying Ohio because we were talking about it. But he just said it.
So yeah, you're safe.
I'm safe. Well, not on Friday and Saturday.
Oh yeah, he might meet you at the Cincinnati airport.
Yep, I'm staying over Friday night in Cincinnati, so I will be in the
last thing you hear before it goes dark in the airport is Stangtastic. Julio Hernandez, Rob, would you start Arch Manning instead of Ewers the next game? I'm gonna tell all the Texas fans in here because I'm a Texas fan, unfortunately, and we are currently owned. If you look under Wikipedia, our current owner is Georgia, the Bulldogs. So I gotta tell you that last game had nothing to do with Ewers, man. Ewers was dropping dimes until he wasn't. The defense gave up a stupid play where the defender should have made that block, and it would have been a pick six, and Texas would have won that game. So there was a lot more things I could point out. 2 missed field goals didn't help. Auburn, burnt Auburn, missed those field goals. Texas should have won that game, man. Texas should have won the game before that. Texas is good at beating Texas, is all I can say right now. The playoffs are going to be interesting. If I had to say, though, I don't honestly think anybody's stopping Oregon. So Oregon just looks to me unstoppable right now. But you never know. You never know, man. Southern Methodist could catch fire and win it all. Who knows? But so that's my college take.
And James says, at least you're not a Jets fan.
Yeah. Holy smokes.
Joe's kicking the couch right now.
I bet Joe has left a chat. I think it said.
His Devils have been doing pretty decent though, so at least that's working out. But
yeah, he's got it, man. Yeah, he's got it.
Retro Randy's got a good one here. Last drawing should be random to help out the gamers sharing one brain cell in our trivia challenge. That sounds fair. We'll do a random one for the last giveaway here, which will be
we'll just
this one randomly here. So yeah, we'll do it. We'll do like how about in 5 minutes? Everybody can write in pick me, and then we'll just we'll make Retro Rob here pick one of you guys and feel really bad about leaving everybody else out.
Don't be anybody I know because I'll feel guilty for not picking you. So Army, Navy. I saw that question. My whole family besides me was Navy. My whole family, my father, brother, both sisters, My nephew, my brother-in-law, everybody Navy. I have one Army. It was my grandfather, who was a flamethrower in World War II, which is an interesting job. So we usually go Navy, but at the end of the day, honestly, in that game, for as big as it is, and for the whole country watching, there really should be no sides. It's just an amazing experience if you've never watched an Army Navy game. At the end of the day, all those people are about to go do something bigger than all of us, and it's all decided on the football field before they go, and sacrifice for the greater good. So, yeah, I don't know. You're a winner either way, in my opinion, but I am going to kind of lean towards Navy just because of my family.
Weren't you Air Force?
I was the laziest branch, dude. We're like the spoiled rich kids, man, of Instagram. we're like the surfer dudes, man. We're just kind of like, yeah, man, go fight those guys. I'll be in the hotel.
Right. Hey, whatever works.
Oh, awesome. Navy, me too. Nice. Guess you get blocked if you pick too many times. Oh, if you say okay.
Well, I said in 5 minutes we were going to do the pick-me's, but it looks like everybody could just drop all the pick-me's now, and we'll just put the pressure on Rob here.
Yeah, holy smokes! There's a lot of them flooding in here
for sure. Well, we got 89 in here at the moment, so
look, I got ha-ha'd for Air Force, man. I told you nobody likes it. Nobody likes us. Hey, whatever, man. Everyone had a choice. I knew what I was doing. Sports question, Rob. Fire away. I didn't want to turn this into anything. There was a free-for-all going into this, so if we're on sports, then all right. If you got a sports question there, go ahead and ask.
Absolutely.
If you're still in the military and your president said we are invading Canada, what would you do? Oh, dude, I would invade Canada. I'd hide in Montreal, man. I would defect, man. I would eat amazing French food and watch all the hockey I could handle.
And Tony G03, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. We appreciate you, and we appreciate everybody that's joining us here today. We got 96. Damn, that just jumped. Thank you guys so much for doing this. It's a real treat. It's been 3 months since I've done a live stream here on the channel, and awesome to catch up with Rob here.
Yeah, people are gonna want me to come back, man. I don't know. That's up to you. So,
absolutely, anytime.
All right, I'm gonna go through here. I'm just gonna hold down the arrow here with the key, and when it stops on whatever name, that's who's gonna get picked.
Perfect. All right, just let us know where it stops.
All right, everybody ready? I'm gonna go. And Life is Beautiful.
Life is Beautiful is the winner, and I just got to find it now.
That's literally what I got put on here. Life is Beautiful. They said hello at 8:16 p.m.
So, all right.
I don't know if they're hoping to win, but
8:16 p.m. All right, let's see if they're still in here, and if not, we'll run it back.
Okay.
So, Life is Beautiful is the name, is the username, right?
Yep.
8:16. All right, that's way up.
Yeah, I held it down, man. I just let go.
Life. There we go. All right, Life is Beautiful. If you're here, claim your win in the next. We'll give you like 3 minutes. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll run it back. Now I got to scroll down all the way to the bottom. There we go.
How many people are changing their username to Life is Beautiful?
They got to do the image too, though.
Yeah. Life is Beautiful Retro Rob. What the hell? Dude, if you wanted a console, I would have just gave you one.
I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing her in here so far. I don't know why I said her, him or her. I'm not seeing them in here yet. So we'll give it 2 minutes here. So at my time, we'll say 9:31. We'll run it back.
All right.
Nice try.
You're right, Cameron. It certainly is, my friend. Damn it. I got one more lined up for.
And Richard, thank you so much. Richard Donaldson. with the $2 pick me. If we picked people because of the super chats, though, I would just get totally roasted. So we can't do that.
Yeah, man.
But we certainly appreciate it.
At that point, dude, you could just buy the system,
right? just have like a twisted eBay bidding war here.
$200 super chat
for a 175.
Yeah.
Plug and play console.
Oh man, I lost money on this.
Right.
I was hoping my friend Nick was going to pop in the chat tonight. Nick has a channel called N Squared Podcast. So if any of you are looking to get involved with his channel, he does a show on Monday nights, and he's been raising money for kids with cancer at his hospital near him in Arizona.
That's awesome.
So if you're interested in donating to that, check out his channel. He provides the link in his channel. I didn't want to provide it in here after talking to Chase. Chase made a good point because it's more channel oriented. It's his channel, not Chase's or myself. But if you're looking to donate, they're up to about $600 right now. The money is legit going to kids. They're going to buy toys for them for Christmas. These are kids that are sick, battling cancer, probably some of them. I don't know how much longer they have. So they're trying to make it the best Christmas they can. And it's really cool that he's doing that, because I haven't seen anybody right now that I'm friends with do anything like that. So, the channel is N Squared with an N like November, N Squared Podcast. Monday nights, he does live streams. They do fun shows, fun content, and they're raising money right now. And if you go on Instagram, there is a Toy Box Time Machine. She's also helping my friend Nick. Hey, there she is right there.
There you go.
Yep, Toy Box Time Machine. She's also helping raise money with Nick. You can go to her page on Instagram, and you can enter to win a Toy Box Time Machine t-shirt. And she's also giving away a special toy. She's like a toy collector. She does amazing stuff. I love her stuff. She's going to give away something from her actual personal collection, as well as a t-shirt for someone who wins, enters a drawing. The money that for the drawing goes towards this cancer for the children. So, you know me, I don't normally plug a lot of stuff, and every time I do, I try to help people, not eBay.
Exactly. Well, Toy Box Time Machine, if you have a link, drop it in the live chat here, and people, I think people can click over from it. So
she can share her Instagram or whatever she wants. People can check it out and follow her on Instagram. She posts some really cool stuff, a lot of cool toys from the past. She goes to some shows. She makes art. She sells like these like cool glass painting stuff and like Star Wars stuff, and
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So definitely support her. And then Nick from N Squared Podcast. But yeah, it didn't look like we have
No Life is Beautiful here. So there we go. N Squared Podcast right there.
All right,
you guys should be able to click from his. I think you can click right onto his name there in the live chat.
Yep, you can. You can go to his channel, and then the link probably might be on his channel now, or
perfect, or just drop it in there. You're welcome to drop links wherever. All right, so we need another winner.
So I already have one. I already have one dimed up. Tony G03 was the next one, and he is a pick me also. It says pick me.
Okay,
that's the next one. So Tony. Yep, I think I just saw him comment too, so that was good timing. All Tony G03, you were the next winner in line, sir.
Perfect. All right, shout yourself out so we can confirm it, and then we are good.
We've given away all of the loot.
All of it. And that was for this one right here in the box and ready to go. There you go. He's still here. Perfect. Congratulations, Tony G03, or as Rob might do it, TONYG03. Kevin's from the UK too. We had some other UK people here earlier.
Is he?
Yeah. So that's a late one for you.
So when you were talking about the demographics where you and I can find that stuff on our YouTube, I also am quite popular in the UK and Canada. Those are my top two countries besides the US. So
nice.
Yeah. Nice. Yep. Big fan, and I love the UK. So and Canada. So it's a win-win. I've been to both. So.
Perfect. Me too. I've been to London, and that was, it's been over 10 years now, but that's another place I'd like to go back to.
Yeah, I spent time in London. I got a rental car. I drove all the way to Wales. Spent time in
Oh,
Wales.
nice.
Oh, dude, it was beautiful. Went to Cardiff. Um, and then this May, I'm going to Ireland for 2 weeks. I'm staying actually in Dublin. So
Very nice. That'll be exciting. When did you say you're going?
in May.
May.
Yep,
Nice.
the beginning of May for about 2 weeks. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Somebody else, I think my mother-in-law is going there at some point. I think
to
that's what she said.
to Ireland.
Yes. Yep.
I'll
I
well,
don't know if it's May. I think she said April, so it's right around that time of year.
all right. Well, if she's near Dublin, I'll just yell out her name. Maybe I'll bump into
There
her.
you go. There you go. Just yell out Chase Borgen's mother-in-law. Chase
Yeah.
Borgen.
Are
That'll
you
go well
Chase
for you.
Borgen's mom? Are you Chase Borgen's mom? Just ask everyone.
There you go. Really concern everybody around you. Mark Stevenson, TechTweeb is in Canada, right? I think so. I'm almost positive that he is. I forget, but
Digi says he is. Digi says he
okay.
is a Canuck.
A Canuck. There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Chase's mom's got it going. Oh my God.
Wow.
Loomis.
Wow.
Loomis on a Tuesday night. Control yourself, sir.
It could have gone way worse than that. I mean, we've had
No.
some strange stuff happen on
In
these live streams.
2024, that's a beautiful comment. That's a Hallmark plug
Absolutely.
right there.
There you go. Just yell retro pie guy. There you go.
Retro pie guy. That could be anybody in England or Ireland.
Bill Gross, always with the cheeseburgers. Always makes me hungry. I'm trying to cut back on the cheeseburgers.
Is Digi from Canada too?
I'm not sure.
Oh, he's saying some. We are sorry. Like at the sorry, eh? Take off, you hosers.
The winner was Tony G, and I forget the number, but he's going to send me an email. So Tony G07, something like that.
Oh, Digi is from Canada. I wonder
Oh,
whereabouts. My Canada experience is pretty vast. So I've been pretty much all across the whole country minus Toronto. That's the last place I need to go visit still. So.
I've been to Toronto. I've been to Montreal. That's it though. I never went too far out west. Yeah.
Oh, old school Rockford Fosgate got my reference, man. Correct, with the Strange Brew, brother. I love that movie more than you know. It's got to be one of the greatest movies out there. Petition to rename the channel Cheeseburger. We call it Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger.
For I don't know, man. GQ new photos needed. Those will come out later. You know what? Once Chase starts a Patreon and he has exclusive content, you guys can have access to his GQ photos. You gotta pay though, man. You gotta pay to play. he's a dirty e-bagger.
It's like an OnlyFans format there.
Yeah. I'm like your agent. Hey, there's no limit on what this guy will do. All right, guys. We got bills to pay.
That's one we haven't seen. We haven't seen the cheesecake in a while. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was my introduction to your channel. Was the cheesecake question? Because apparently
that's great. And the creator of all that was in here a little bit earlier, and that was Heckin' Steve. He's that's the crazy part. So I got stuck with the cheesecake thing, but it was Heckin' Steve that was talking about the cheesecakes, not me.
Oh wow! So he kicked it all off and then bounced
and then took off. Yeah, he didn't bring it over to his channel. He just left it over here for like a full year, I think.
Okay.
All right, let's see what else we got here.
Yeah, what's the chat up to? We're still pretty busy.
71 at the moment.
Wow. Yeah. It's not bad for a Tuesday night, man.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, Tuesdays are pretty good because you don't have. We were talking about this yesterday. So Buff and I do Thursdays, and that's always tough because I feel like the last few Thursdays there's been great games on for for football. So
Yeah. Oh man, thanks, Nick. I'm gonna actually go up and see him. He's up in Arizona. We're gonna go hang
Oh,
out. I plan
nice.
on seeing a lot of people. I'm gonna focus more on traveling next year than I am, obviously, without doing YouTube. I plan on all these people I've made connections with. I plan on going out and hanging out.
That's
So
awesome.
Arizona and California is on my checklist for next year. So um, yeah, it's gonna be exciting. The Pixel Game Squad guys and Camel Picking Crew and Lost in Retro, Sir Jumps a lot. These are all channels out there in California that I told them, I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna come out there and we're
For
gonna
sure.
go hit the flea markets and go thrifting and go play some games, man, and check out SoCal Gaming Expo. It's gonna be an awesome trip. So, and
When is
yes,
that?
Joe, I will hit up New Jersey, Joe. I'll be near Connecticut, so there's no way I could not come to New Jersey. So,
For sure.
um,
We'll all get together. That'll be fun. And for a
yeah.
D 9006, thank you for hanging out with us. Get some sleep. Appreciate you.
Oh yeah. Yep. Good night. Yeah, he's the one that's been up late there, and I think he's in England also.
Yep. Yep. It's a late night there. So yeah, that'll be fun with Joe.
Yeah, you're welcome, Gigi. I wouldn't say that my videos were awesome, but I did think they were okay. I'm glad you liked them, man.
I think everybody else thinks they're awesome, so I think you got that covered.
I think it's just pity, really, more than anything.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I always tell people if you could provide value, and you definitely do, because just in my experience with I'm gravitating towards the Xbox 360 stuff that you did, and I think that's what a lot of people gravitated towards with your content too.
yeah,
But you're providing value in, hey, this is how the game plays. This is and you usually would pick cheap games too. So right there
yeah,
alone, even if they don't like you, they might like your recommendations.
yeah. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why they're like, hey, well, at least the games on here are cheap, so we'll like his stuff. Uh, yeah, see, Marvelous dude, he's just too nice, man. There's no way my videos are. He does better stuff than I do, man. He's got like a legit channel. Mine's like a hobby crap channel. Let me look up that date for Lindsay for SoCal or anyone else that's interested. SoCal Expo, they put on it was their first year last year, and I didn't get a chance to go because I was
There's a
too
lot of
busy.
coverage on that one too, and it looked like a great
Yeah,
convention.
dude, it was insane. They had a half pipe like a skate ramp in there. You could skateboard and stuff, and like it was
Wow.
it was wild.
Is that the one that Logan Paul showed up to and did the Tetris tournament?
I'm not sure. I don't really acknowledge him as a real person, so
I'm pretty sure it was him. I think he showed up to that one.
oh, okay. He's something.
It's something. I agree. I agree.
Oh yeah, Retro Underground Gaming says yeah, he showed up there, so that's good for him.
Yeah.
So SoCal, the dates aren't listed yet for SoCal Game Expo.
Okay.
I just went to the site that says stay tuned for the dates, but you can go to their website and track. But I'm definitely going. Can't wait. Don't be sad. I saw that comment, Nick. No one be sad about me leaving YouTube. It's just yeah. I'll still be around. You'll still see me pop up in different places, different channels, different live shows. So, yeah, this isn't the end of me. I'm not dying. So, maybe in the Tibetan sense of the word, I am. But
Sure.
we're all dying.
Well, I'll gladly have you back on here anytime. It's always a blast talking with you. And for
Yeah,
old
I like these kind
school,
of shows. You and I we like cutting it up.
I mean,
Trying to make it
we would be doing this anyways, just through text messages. So
right.
it's not much different for us,
Yeah, people are
But it's
just
cool to be able to
witnessing.
do it with other people too.
They're
Yeah.
witnessing our daily conversations together.
Right.
So
Right.
we've
Exactly.
cleaned up the language a little, though.
Sure. And for old school Rockford Fosgate here, we've got Chase. Any possible arcade videos when you travel? I just watched a video on the United States largest arcade. I would love to. My travel schedule is it's weird. So I was just in North Carolina, and it was pretty much land, rental car. Didn't even go to the hotel for like 12 hours. Filmed, went back to the hotel, or went to the hotel, checked in at like I think it was 11:30 at night. So it's usually I'm pretty stacked up to where I don't get to see any sights. I don't get to really do much of anything. When I
Yeah.
go to Ohio this week, I fly in, I get in at 12 a.m. technically Saturday morning because it'll be after 12 a.m. And I'll probably sleep for a couple hours. I'm meeting Buff there. I think he gets in at like 7 a.m. and then we have a car picking us up for a 2-hour drive to Waverly. And then I fly out the next morning at 6 a.m. And I think the event we're going to ends at like midnight. So not much time to unfortunately scope out arcades, but if I ever get the opportunity, I would definitely do that. I'll be in Vegas without Buff in January, so maybe I'll do something out there. They have the Pinball Hall of Fame, which is pretty cool.
Oh wow, that'd be
Yeah,
fun. I'm gonna hit up Galloping Ghost next year. I'm actually meeting
nice.
if he's up for it, if he's healthy. Patman QC is gonna go out there.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, and then my
let me know
sister.
when you go because I'll definitely want to try to meet up with you at some point
Okay,
out
yeah,
there.
that'd be great. Yeah, my whole family, we're gonna make a family trip. We're gonna go up. My sister lives in Chicago. My other sister lives in Wisconsin, so we're gonna be there for like a
Awesome.
couple weeks, and then while
Oh,
we're
nice.
there, go out to Galloping Ghost. So, um, yeah, and for everyone too. Sorry, I should have addressed this earlier. I will leave my channel. My channel's not being taken down. I'm gonna leave it up for other people to watch if they want to. I don't know. Like he said, leave it up and see how big it gets within a year without me posting anything. I guess
And then you'll be back next year once you see it's at like 100,000.
yeah, I doubt that, but that would be interesting, right? I come back a year from now and do a video and
Hey,
be
you
like,
never know. You never
yeah,
know.
we'll see.
That's the cool thing. There's no rules with YouTube. There's no rules with what you're doing. So you can come back whenever, or if you want to, never come back, that's cool too. It's totally whatever you feel like doing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say never is never. I did say though for sure in my last video that I was done, but you're right. I mean, I could, but I don't want to be like one of those people where like, oh, he lied to us or he came back and
Well, that was a
whatever.
trend for the longest too. It's like
Yeah,
I'm
I
done with
was.
YouTube, and then they'd follow it up with like another video the next morning.
Yeah, I know, and that's not what I'm trying to do.
No,
But
no, and I think anybody that knows you and your content knows that. So
yeah, but you'll see me. I'll still use because I want to keep the channel up too because I'm still going to share other people's stuff and like, hey, you should check out this channel or watch this video or
for
I
sure,
use that community post stuff a lot and
I
I've
love
got
the community posts. Yeah,
yeah, it's great and the viewers are so supportive and if they see something that interests them, they're on it and if they don't, they ignore it and that's good. That's what it's like a billboard, right? You just
right. No, exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Um,
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't really know that it exists. Actually, I think it was Jen Master B who was actually when I posted. I think it was when I was in Atlanta at one point. I ended up postponing the stream, and he was like, "What's a community post?" And if it's not Jen, I apologize, but I think it was Jen. And I was like, "Oh man." I didn't realize that people didn't know about the community post side of YouTube because it is very separate from the rest of the feed on there, but it's got a lot to offer for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's good about always too. Like if you've canceled something and people didn't for some reason find out about it, he's in the chat all the time. Like, hey, Chase canceled tonight. Like, and then a lot of people
Right.
will just hang out in the chat anyways and still just hang out and talk.
Right.
That's the
I
best,
remember
man.
that. I remember that because I didn't get a chance to like take it down.
Yeah,
So I guess people were waiting, and yeah, you were like, "There's like 18 people in there." Like an hour later, still
yeah.
talking.
I messaged you. I'm like, hey, dude, people are still in your chat, man. We're just hanging out, shooting the breeze, man.
That's awesome.
Uh, SC Motions asks, do you like Retro Rick? I don't know who if he's asking you or me, but I've met him. I went to his expo. I think he's a pretty stand up guy. I think it's amazing what he's done. That his channel started with him doing this thing like a $10 challenge where he would take $10 and see how many games he could get and how big it could grow. And now it's turned into him having an expo and his own store in Arkansas. So I think it's pretty impressive. I couldn't do it. I don't have the energy for that, man. I'd be like,
No, neither.
I'm out of $10. I'm good. I have all these games, and then you'd never hear from me for like 2 weeks. So
No, he's done a lot on YouTube and just business wise outside of YouTube too. I've never met him, but I've seen his content. I've seen what he's doing, and yeah, I'm a fan. I like it.
yeah, yeah. SC Motions. If you want, I did a video on. I went and saw the expo that Rick put on, and I went to his store too, and I just lumped them together. So if you get bored enough, or you need something to help you go to sleep, I've got some good videos you should check out. Good on Nick there, 642 for the fundraiser, dude. That's awesome, man. I don't
That
know
is
if
awesome.
he has a goal or what. I thought at first he was just trying to get to 600, but maybe that just, I don't know. We have to see how far he gets. So
For sure. Hey, every little bit helps. So that's awesome. That is
yeah,
awesome. And Logic 1611, just watched your No Mercy video. You didn't talk about the changes in the 2.1 version. So the changes are honestly, there's not that much. It is very similar to the original version. I think there's some different outfit changes. Big Show's in there. Whereas he was like a secret character in the first one. So you can unlock him without having to do anything to actually unlock him. There's better entrances, but I couldn't show that in the video, and I probably should have mentioned that, so I do apologize for that. But I can't show that because obviously the music plays and all of that's copyrighted. So
yeah.
that's one, yeah, that's one thing with WWE. Now they'll block stuff. So like usually when you have like a copyright thing, they just take the ad revenue from you, which is fine if it's something that's their content, and not just them, but anybody that has trademark or copyright stuff on YouTube. If you're using their stuff, I think it's fair that they get the money for it.
Right.
But sometimes they can just block it altogether where you just can't release it at all. And that's something that WWE's been doing lately on YouTube. So yeah, I couldn't really show that. And I was like, maybe I'll just put the footage without the audio, but then I feel like that would, raise too many questions too. So
Well,
one
real
of
quick,
those things.
we'll say goodnight to Brian there. He left, Brian Whitney. So good
Brian
night, bud.
Whitney, thank you
Yep.
so much, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
One of the usuals.
For sure. And Chase, I see you're into wrestling games. When and what got you started? For wrestling games, I don't remember the first one. It was probably WCW NWO Revenge. Which is still one of my favorites. WrestleFest is. I think I've experienced WrestleFest really late, but yeah, I mean, wrestling games I think is something that's big for everybody, whether you're into wrestling or not. They're fun to play. So
Yeah. Especially co-op.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah. You get a bunch
great
of
way to
friends over, man, throw on a wrestling game, everyone wins. So
exactly.
yeah, that's the one community that I think ties in well with video games is wrestling games. So
It's true, yeah. I mean, it's like racing games, right? Like not everybody's, into cars, but racing games are fun. It doesn't matter if it's Cruising USA or it's Forza or whatever. And
yeah.
Luminous Sage, we good on the joke. I have no issue whatsoever. You can crack any jokes that you want. I don't take life too serious, so nothing
Yeah,
really
no, we've been ragging
yeah,
on each other all the whole night.
that's what we do. So
Yeah.
yeah, no problem whatsoever, man.
Jonathan wants to know when I'm filming the next Matrix movie, man. Did you watch the last Matrix movie, Jonathan? It was so terrible that we're
It
not
was
allowed to make
so
them
bad.
anymore. We can't even make them. That's why I flew away at the end to, to never
Oh,
come back.
that movie was so bad, and I was so excited for that too.
I flew
So
right
bad,
into John Wick.
right?
I
He's doing
watched it though. I did because I was like, you know what I mean? I was like,
I
there
kept
was
watching it hoping it would get better, and it just got
right.
worse and
Yeah.
worse.
There's a small part
Uh,
of us in these movies that there's that twinkle of hope, but we always end up getting disappointed in the end, right? We're just like clinging,
right.
clinging, clinging, and then you get to the end of the movie and you're like, my God, I'll never
Yeah.
get those hours back.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's some movies like the Ghostbusters stuff. I like the Ghostbusters movies, and because they've done it with like a spin on it, where it's not like they're trying to like continue it and stuff like that. Like I just don't feel like you can really continue stuff that's gone, decades without, a
Yeah,
movie or anything.
yeah.
Although we mentioned before Indiana Jones. I did like the latest Indiana Jones. I know not everybody did, but I enjoyed it.
I haven't brought myself to watch it, man. I'm afraid
Really?
I'm afraid. I saw how frail and old he looked on that horse, and I was like, it broke my heart, man. It did. It was, you know,
But at least they're like addressing it. It's not like they're trying to throw him at you and like, make him out to be younger. And I mean half the movie is like I don't think it's CGI, but it's, they're making him young for it or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it, and
Well, like I said, man, there's that
you
twinkle.
just have
So
to go into it, prepared that
right.
it's not going to touch the earlier stuff. But I think it definitely is better than the one in 2008. That one,
Oh, the
Kingdom of the
crystal
Crystal Skull.
oh my
I didn't
god.
hate it. I didn't hate it, but I mean, it's not. I don't
Dude,
consider it part of the franchise. We'll put it that
I
way.
don't think the franchise does either. I think they
Right.
just pretend. I think they locked it away in that warehouse with all those crates.
There you go.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Right. Uh, Lethal Weapon. They're supposed to do a Lethal Weapon 5, I heard.
See, they got to stop with this stuff, man. Like they're just wheeling these guys out at this point, and they're just so I don't know, man. Is Mel Gibson even stable anymore to do movies?
I think so. He's gonna direct it and be in it.
Oh
So,
boy,
yeah.
I don't know,
I don't
man.
I think he's been better lately. I don't know. He's doing like I guess this is like a dated term because I don't even know if they exist anymore, but I would say like the red box movies now, like, the B films or whatever. But I don't, is red box even a thing anymore?
I mean, I see them outside of every
Okay, so it
Walgreens.
is okay.
There's
So
it's
it's
Walgreens
Walgreens thing.
or CVS, and
They
someone's
don't
got
even
their
have them by
mixtape
me
demo
anymore.
sticker on there. People use Redbox to like advertise their stuff. They like slap their stickers or their business on there. Like
I don't even have any near me anymore. Like they're all gone. But
Nick
yeah,
says
I
that
remember doing
Redbox
that.
went out of business in the chat, but I still see that. So who owns those movie boxes then? Because they're still out there. I still see them. They're still active. They even have that nasty sunscreen thing over it that you have to lift up so you can look at the screen. But it's been touched by like 10 million people, and
That's
it's
why
like
yours are still in business. There you go. That was the secret right there. Is the, the little privacy shade.
yeah. So no one can see you renting terrible movies. I don't know, man.
I mean, I remember I used to rent like 3 a weekend for a while there. It was like 99 cents back then.
So for me, I like them for the military because we'd go TDY somewhere, different base, and we'd be
Sure.
staying in like lodging or building, what we call like our
Okay.
hotels on base. And they would always have one at like the shopette, which is like where you get alcohol and snacks and stuff. And so if you're staying there and you want to watch something, you go over there and you grab, a couple discs, man, for like you said, a
Right.
couple bucks, $3. You got 3 movies, you get some
Right.
beer, you're set, man. You're set for the whole. But yeah, now with streaming and everything going on, I mean, you can just
I don't
press
even
on
have
a
a DVD. I mean, I have a DVD player somewhere, but I don't have it like attached to the TV anymore. I don't
yeah.
know. Buff actually just gave me some stuff to like pull footage off of some old DVDs, and I had to get a like DVD burner thing off of Amazon for like $20. I
Yeah.
was like, I don't even know where my DVD player is in the house. But Joe's got a cool question here. Rob and Chase, what's your favorite Christmas movie or movies?
Ooh,
So
''tis the season. ''Tis
it
the
is.
season, Joe. That's an excellent question. I'll let Chase go first though, because I know he's got it's.
It's gotta be Christmas Story. It's gotta be because it was on 24. It probably still is on TBS. I think it's TBS
Oh yeah,
24/7. So like, and now as I've gotten older, I still feel like I watch the full movie, but I watch it in parts. So it's like you'll see the ending and then you'll catch like the beginning. It's never like start to finish anymore. But I
it's in
remember
Redbox. You can get it in Redbox.
they actually have a sequel that's probably in Redbox because I feel like the sequel is like right around the
Did you
Redbox.
watch the sequel? Because we
I
watched
did
it as a
not.
family.
I
As a
did
family,
not.
we
My
watched it.
my
I
my
did.
stepson told me about it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did a good job, I think.
Did they? Okay. I'll have
I
to check
think
it out.
so. We watched because what we did is we watched the first one and then we went and watched the second one, and they take a lot of stuff from the past, and it's fast forward to them being adults, and like well, I don't want to give anything away, but I thought it was pretty decent. And if you have like HBO or something, you can watch it on there.
Okay,
So
I have that, so
yeah,
I'll have to check it out this season then.
yeah,
Actually, so I mentioned I'm in Ohio on Saturday, and I was looking at the poster of all these wrestlers that are there, and I'll be there filming with Buff. But one of the guys from Christmas Story is going to be there, and I was just like, why? Like, what is the dynamic here where it's all like wrestlers from like the 80s and 90s, and then just what was his name, Slick or was it
oh
the one? I
yeah,
forget his name.
the main bad kid.
Yeah, so he's gonna be on the card with, like, I don't know if he's wrestling or, like, what the deal is, but he's making an appearance at this wrestling show.
Wow, dude.
So,
Well, yeah. Hey, man. You got
whatever.
to pay the bills, man. Yeah.
Exactly. So what's your go-to Christmas movie?
Oh, mine is always so on Christmas Eve every year, like clockwork. I watch Die Hard,
Okay.
and then right I watch it so that right at Christmas Eve, Gruber is falling off the building exactly at Christmas Eve every time. I've timed it every year. I even took photos of me watching it one year, like an idiot. Um, and then Christmas Day, I watched the sequel because a lot of people I don't think remember that Die Hard 2 also took place during Christmas at the airport.
Yep.
And then Christmas night every year, I watch Scrooged with Bill Murray.
It's a great one.
Yeah,
That's a
he's
great
my
one.
guy. He's from Chicago. He's the Illinois guy. I got to go with Bill
Sure.
Murray. So, and yeah, those are my three.
Somebody that I don't think it's somebody that I know personally, but it's somebody that for whatever reason I follow. And it's not like a celebrity or anything, but I follow him on Instagram. It's just a regular person. They ran into him at a bar somewhere down south like a couple days ago, and he got behind the bar and was just like making drinks for people. It was like a short little video.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
the Bill Murray stories are wild, man.
oh, he just like goes around, and this is the thing he's been doing for years and years. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. They even made a documentary about it too. You can
I saw
watch.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He just, dude, he's a wild. Like you can't even get a hold of him.
Right.
Yeah,
Doesn't have an agent, just you
a
have to, like,
toll free
run into
number.
him. Yep.
It's a toll free, and only like 6, 7 people in the world have it. So, Loomis is going to bed. So good night, Loomis, man. Thanks for popping in.
Thank you so
Um,
much, guys. Yeah, we'll wrap it up in a couple minutes here,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
wanna
Well,
appreciate you guys so much for joining us tonight. This was an absolute treat. It's been a long time since I've done this, and to be able to do it with Rob is a blast here.
yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. Old school Rockford Fosgate. I know that Die Hard's not necessarily acknowledged as a Christmas movie,
I
but
think it is, though. I mean,
well,
that's
I know
that's
Bruce
that's one of those
Willis.
things.
He said it wasn't. When he said it wasn't a Christmas movie. A lot of people, but to me, I've watched it since as long as I can remember, so it's just tradition. Christmas
I
is
was gonna
about
say,
tradition,
yeah,
and
right.
that's what it is for me. Whether it's considered Christmas or not, it's still part of my tradition. So I still watch
Exactly.
it. Lindsay's
Exactly.
going to bed. Good night, Lindsay. We have one last question, though, real quick from it looked like Marvelous XD. He was asking, do you guys have a favorite Christmas themed video game or a game that takes place? Anything with? I have one, but mine's an easy one.
I'm trying to think of a Christmas themed game. I don't know if I can think of any off the top of my head. I think of the Nightmare Before Christmas game.
Right, and that's what I was gonna
But
pick.
that's okay,
Yeah,
all right. And
and
that's
so
but that's kind of like I feel like that's Halloween and Christmas. So that's
well, the last 3 levels are like a lot of Christmas. So
it is. That's true.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I think
um,
of. And I love that game and or I love the game, but I love the movie. And I think that's just a genius thing to do for them to do something that becomes a Halloween movie and then, what 6 weeks later becomes a Christmas movie too.
yeah, yeah.
Great
Scrooge is
marketing on
good.
that.
Yeah, looks like Gen B's out of here too. Good night, Gen B.
Just slid in your DMs. Perfect. No
Oh,
problem. No
nice,
problem.
nice.
That works.
That's classy.
That's easier. Yeah, easier for me. So, all right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys so much, though, for joining us once again. This was a blast.
Yeah,
Wish you guys all happy holidays. It's crazy that they're already upon us.
you
Feel like
know,
just yesterday it was Halloween, and here we are.
2
Christmas will be here
weeks.
soon. Yep,
Yep, 2 weeks.
for sure.
Um,
All right, guys. Well, thank you all so much. We will do this again together at some point in the future. And I don't know when I'll get back to the live stream thing here regularly, but I do plan to do a podcast soon. I'm moving into a studio space at the first of the year. So looking forward to all that. And we'll have some cool stuff in the meantime. I know Rob's going to come out here to Connecticut and do some stuff as well. So
yep.
there'll be fun stuff to look forward to. So,
I'm a world
and
traveler, man.
I'm looking forward to it. Looking
Yes,
forward to
sir.
it.
Well, thanks again, man. Thanks everyone for the
Absolutely.
chat and happy holidays to all of you. And you'll see me again at some point.
Sounds good, man. Well, we'll miss you, but we'll be looking out for you on the other channels and appearances that you're doing. So,
All right, awesome.
all right, thanks, guys. We'll see you guys real soon.